Hey guys, sup? Scottish Duck here, once again. Right, today we are doing Super Nintendo. Now, this is a machine that I hold very near and dear. Okay, it was my very first console. I kind of said this in my Mega Drive collection video, but I love, like, the 16-bit era. That's where I was raised, that's where I was just, like, really came into my own as, like, in terms of playing video games. And yeah, I just absolutely love it. So yeah, and I'll just say right here, right, there's a... You hear this? That's all the fucking Super Nintendo games, because PAL games have this stupid, like, it's the same with Japanese games. They have this stupid curvature that makes it fucking impossible to stack them on top of each other. So I always have to have... they're always, like, at the side there, as you saw in previous videos. But yeah, whatever. Let's get fucking into this. And you'll have to forgive me also, because I know that a fair few of these are reproduction cartridges, and I actually don't think I can remember which ones are which, because they're kind of like hard to tell from one another. You know, there probably is like a proper official way. I don't know what it is. They play the games, fuck it. Let's go. I'm just picking these up at random. Pac-In-Time. Okay, now this is like a really weird sort of like platformer with Pac-Man. I definitely did play this a little bit. I think I had it when I was younger. And it's just a really weird game, and it's not that fun, if I'm being totally honest. I don't know, I don't actually have that much to say about it. But yeah, Pac-In-Time. Okay. Sunset Riders. Now, is this a reproduction cartridge? I don't think so. Anyway, yeah, some of these SNES games are stupid rare. That's probably why I'm like this. But I think this one is legit. I actually not played that much of it. I know that the Mega Drive version is like slightly different to the point where it's considered like a totally different game. But it's very well beloved. Like, a lot of people really love Sunset Riders. Really should sit down and sink my teeth into this at some point. Right, let's Super Bomberman R. This is a big favourite of mine. Not my favourite Bomberman game, not anymore. That goes to Saturn Bomberman now. But this was my first, and I just played this to absolute death. Okay, me and my brother, we would just like torture each other with bombs and shit. It was so much fun. Love this game. Love it to death. Okay, here's definitely... Just like most of my other collection videos, there's a lot of games here that I just like need to sit down and play. And this, without a fucking doubt, is definitely one of them. Demon's Crest, okay? People go absolutely nuts about, like, Firebrand and Gargoyle. Is it Gargoyle Quest, the NES one? I don't know, but this one is definitely, like, the favourite in the trilogy, because there was one for the NES, there was one for the Game Boy, and there's this. People really, really love this one. I need to get to it pronto. Here we have Dragon Quest. I think, yeah, this is Dragon Quest 1 and 2. This is definitely a reproduction cartridge, because we didn't get it over here. But yeah, this contains a remake of Dragon Quest 1 and 2. The remakes came out in Japan for the Super Famicom, and yeah, this is just a translation ROM put onto a SNES cartridge. So that's cool. I love me some Dragon Quest, so I do dig the fact that I own that. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. This one's alright. I remember I really didn't like it when I first started playing it, but I popped it in not too long, I say not too long ago, like the last time I played it was probably a good few years ago, and I actually found myself enjoying it, you know? Like, Ghosts and Goblins for the NES is like stupid. That's just, I don't like that game. But this one, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'll give you that one, Capcom. Fuck, here we go. Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Real talk, rant here or something, guys. Like, this is definitely one of my, like, top 3 Super Nintendo games. I absolutely love it. It's one of the best Zelda games ever, one of my favourite games of all time. But I think it's a bit overrated. Like, I'm kind of in that camp. I think it's because the Zelda fan base has, like, taken some cues from the Sonic fan base in recent years, where it's kind of, like, divided up. You got, like, the 3D fans on one end and the 2D fans on one end. Now, as per my own observation, this might not be the whole case, and I don't want to generalise. The 2D fans, i.e. the ones that grew up with this, are way more loud and way more, like, entitled, I hate using that word, than the 3D fans. You know, like, anything that came after Ocarina of Time is linear to them. You know, and it's always just been a big pet peeve of mine. It's just like, how the fuck is Ocarina of Time linear? Yeah, its story is linear, but it's a massive world to it. How is this fucking... I don't know. Link to the Past. I love it. Honest. I should cut myself off there for too long. Flashback. This is a really good one. I never did beat it, but I played a lot of it when I was a kid, and every time it was one of those things where I would pop it in my Super Nintendo, and every time I would get like a little bit more further, and it was always like super satisfying. One of these days I need to sit down and finish this. I love Flashback. I really do. There's like Another World. It's from the same people as Another World. I think it is, isn't it? But yeah, there's like a million different versions out there. Who knows what one's the best one? I have the SNES one, so there. Okay, Secret of Evermore. Never played it. I think this is another reproduction cartridge, if I am not mistaken, because we never got it over here. But this was a RPG developed by Square of America. And was it Square or was it Enix? I think it was Square. And it wasn't actually released in Japan, because Square Enix of Japan, they didn't like it, didn't meet their standards. I don't know, it's just they didn't. And from what I hear, it's not that great, but it's worth a little playthrough, I guess. I don't know, but I have it, so maybe one day. Okay. Here we go. In fact, should I talk about these games together? If I can find the last one. There it is, okay. We got Soul Blazer, we got Illusion of Time, aka Illusion of Gaia, and we got Terranigma. These games are considered to be like a trilogy for the Super Nintendo. They were all made by the same people, they all share the same themes. I don't think they necessarily share the same world, but they are absolutely fucking brilliant. Soul Blazer, this is probably the weakest one. It's kind of a predecessor to Dark Cloud, because as you explore dungeons, you gain like parts of a village, and as you restore a village, you unlock more like of the story and whatnot, and it's really cool in that regard, but it probably is the weakest one. Illusion of Time is a sort of like cross between a Zelda and an RPG. It's definitely an RPG, but it's got a lot of Zelda in there, from what I remember. But again, amazing story, just like wonderful presentation, as is the case with this studio's sort of games, and I just put Soul Blazer back on the pile of games I've yet to talk about. But the best one by far is Terranigma. This game is one of the best RPGs pronto. It's an action. They're all action RPGs, incidentally. No turn-based stuff here, and it's just like the feelings that you get from this game. I don't know how else to describe it. You should really play this if you can. And it was very interesting because America didn't get this. Japan obviously got it, and we got it. This is a legit cartridge. It's not a reproduction. At least I think it's not. But yeah, Terranigma. I absolutely fucking love it. I don't know what this game is. I think I've had it for a long time. Yes, it's good, okay. Oh, here we go. Speaking of Mario World, well, we didn't really speak of it. Here is Super Mario All-Stars, aka the very first game I ever played. And honestly, if I'm allowed to count it, which I probably shouldn't, it's my favourite Mario game ever, you know? I adore it. It's just like, so much of my childhood is in this cartridge. Honest to God. Mario Brothers 3, Mario 1, not so much Mario 2, didn't really dig Mario 2 that much, but yeah, fucking excellent. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Here we have Earthworm Jim. Prefer the Mega Drive version, I own both versions. This one is pretty good though, but the Mega Drive version, it's got better music and more levels and stuff, from what I remember. But yeah, Earthworm Jim, I like him. Super Street Fighter 2... Wait, no, sorry. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, my bad. Yeah, I played this game to death when I was younger as well. Didn't know how to pull off a single super move, but you know, like, I think like most people, I really fell in love with like the characters, and it was just so much fun to play in two-player and whatnot. And yeah, I really love Street Fighter. F-Zero, I've definitely popped this in and played it a fair bit, but I can't say I'm like that big of a fan. I don't know, F-Zero seems like one of those games that you just if you've got a Super Nintendo, you just have F-Zero, you know? I've been meaning to get into the series proper for a good while, because I have, like, F-Zero GX for the GameCube, and I've played a bit of, like, F-Zero... Oh, fuck, what's the one on the N64 called? F-Zero X? Is it? I don't know. I've played that one a bit, and I love how the N64 one controls, for sure, but... And this one, yeah, I respect it. I definitely do. It's just not like a... It really is literally the game where Captain Falcon came from. That's all it is to me, and I'm pretty sure that's all it is to Nintendo, sadly. So, yeah. What we got here? What will we talk about next? Turtles in Time, a classic beat-em-up arcade. I definitely grew up with, like... I say grew up, but I have very fond memories of playing, like, the arcade game of Turtles in, when I was on holiday and stuff. And this is kind of regarded as the absolute best Turtles game for sure. It's alright. It's not Streets of Rage, that's my problem. Starwing, aka Star Fox. I absolutely love it. I kind of like agree with all the like shortcomings it has, being such an early 3D polygonal shoot 'em up thing. Can't talk. But I still have a lot of nostalgia, and I still really like it. You know, I can't whack it. It's a big part of my childhood. Okay, what's this called? Super Probotector Alien Rebels. I had to look up the title because it's Contra 3. It's just fucking Contra 3. Fucking brilliant game. I actually find this one to be not as difficult as the NES ones. Or wait, am I getting those two mixed up? I don't know. It's been a while since I played it, but I definitely know I dug this one a lot. Doubt I ever beat it, but it's fun. Right. Doom. I don't think I've ever had a proper playthrough of Doom on any console. I feel like I definitely should, because it's such a prolific game, you know. And this SNES version is definitely not the best. I've played it myself also. It's like, yeah. In fact, do I have it? I don't know if I own this. Fuck, it's in the fucking pile. I used to own Wolfenstein 3D when I was younger on the Super Nintendo, and I definitely played that more. And I couldn't even tell you if even that was a decent port or not, but I know that this one wasn't. So, not too much to say about it. I love the 2016 game, but that was really good. Okay. Here we have Mystic Quest Legend. Now, this is another reproduction cartridge for sure. I know for a fact we didn't get this. This is like the idiot's Final Fantasy, basically. That's what Square Enix made it to be. It's a very dumb game. I've yet to sit down and probably play it. I would love to play it. I would love the experience of playing a game that Square Enix like really pandered to the West for, basically. You know, that just sounds so fun to me. So one day I will definitely get to it. Mario Paint, classic. Can't say I ever spent much time with it, but I got it. Pilot Wings, another game of my childhood. Brilliant. Don't really like... I actually recently played Pilot Wings 64. You know what, I'll talk about that in the N64 video, why not? This one's brilliant. I love it. Another one of my big favourites. Harvest Moon. I got into Harvest Moon, right, on the 3DS, and it was one of those things that I do a lot, where I like one game in a particular series a lot. I gotta get them all. And this is on the reproduction cartridge. At least I think it's a reproduction cartridge. I don't know, I really got into this like mode where I was buying a lot of those. But I primarily played it on the Wii U Virtual Console. And yeah, this game is still really good. All the things that I like in the most recent Harvest Moon games are still pretty much intact here. You know, a lot of like the things that I find addictive are still here. And I'm super impressed by that, really. Another big favourite. I absolutely love Harvest Moon. The series and this game. Okay. Mystical Ninja, a sort of like beat-em-up style game with some platforming thrown in the levels. Also known as Goemon in Japan. Brilliant series. One of those ones that Capcom really ought to do... Not Capcom, Konami really ought to do more with. But of course Konami isn't doing much with anything these days, so what can you do? At least we got this. This is a really good one. I did a Let's Play of this back in the day as well. But yeah, this cartridge is really banged up. Great game though, great game. Right, this is... okay. Where's the... Here it is. Another big favourite. I'm saying that about a lot of these, aren't I? Secret of Mana. Probably my... Is it my... Fuck, I was about to say, like, second favourite RPG on the Super Nintendo, but I thought of, like, 2 other games, so I don't know. But I really, really like Secret of Mana. I have not played that remake yet, I don't really care to. But, yeah, we got this, and I also have another reproduction cartridge of this. Secret of Mana 2, which is... As far as the series in Japan goes, this is actually... Okay, I'm gonna butcher this. Seiken Densetsu 2, and this is like Seiken Densetsu 3. Really should pop this in. It's an English translation, because I love this one so much. I'll tell you this about Secret of Mana as well, right? I have like played a bunch of the other games. I played like, I think it was Sword of Mana for the Game Boy Advance. I played like Legend of Mana for the PS1, I think it was. I played like Children of Mana for the DS. A lot of the games in the Secret of Mana series aren't that good. It's weird. It really was just this one, because this, again, became one of those series, it's like, I better get all of them, you know, because I'm so into one of them. But I've never enjoyed one as much as this. I'm hoping that this isn't the case with this one when I finally get around to it. But, yeah, Secret of Mana, great game. Not series, but game. Okay. Might as well get this out of the way now. Earthbound. Another reproduction cartridge because we didn't get it here in the UK. You see the pattern here? I keep getting all these reproduction cartridges for RPGs that we never got because I was just like, fuck this, I want to own these. I want to own these badly. Nowadays my mind would wander to, just get an American or a Japanese Super Nintendo, but I didn't think big enough a few years ago, so I was just like, get reproduction cartridges that are illegal and shit. But who gives a flying fuck? This is my favourite Super Nintendo game. I'm an Earthbound junkie. I'm one of those people. I apologise for nothing. So there. Right. Here we have Axley. Really excellent 2D shooter. I've popped this in a really long time, but I do remember really enjoying it. Had some really awesome Mode 7 graphics to it. So, yeah, Axley. Good shit. Another 2D shooter, UN Squadron. I'm trying to remember. I don't think I played this one that much either. I've definitely had it for years too, but I just don't... you know what it was? I probably didn't get very far in it. That's why I'm not really remembering anything, but... Heck, UN Squadron. Here is... Oh, here we go. Super Mario Kart. I love this game. Gets a lot of hate these days. Not hate, but a lot of people kind of regard it as definitely the weakest Mario Kart because it's old and kind of not very good as a game. But fuck it, I love it. It's in my heart, damn it. Okay, the fuck is this? Super Putty? I don't know. I think it's like... I think that game is like a port of something that was on like the Amiga or something. I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like I do. Okay. Here we have the Donkey Kong Country trilogy. Now, I have a really weird relationship with Donkey Kong Country because the first game is one of my all-time favourites. Played it so much, love it to death. Donkey Kong Country 2 gave me such a bad first impression when I first played it a good few years ago. Like, I think the first time I ever played it was on the Wii Virtual Console, if I'm being honest. And, yeah, I'm not going to get into it here, but I remember I said a few things to some friends at the time who were big fans of Donkey Kong Country 2, because Donkey Kong Country 2 is considered the best one, 100%. And they all kind of hold that against me to this day, even though I've still never really went back to try and see if I can correct that opinion, or like update that opinion, I should say. So yeah, Donkey Kong Country 2, I really don't have much to say, but I need to beat it at least once. And I don't think I've ever played Donkey Kong Country 3. Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. It has its fans for sure, but it's also considered sort of the weakest in the series. So, but then again, when you follow up a game that's as prolific as Donkey Kong Country 2, what do you expect? Right. What next? We have Mega Man X, another big favourite. Potentially the best Mega Man game that I've played. Might be my favorite. I think it is my favourite. Yeah, I'll say that. Mega Man X. I played Mega Man X2 as well. Fairly on the Wii U Virtual Console. That was a pretty good game as well. Couldn't beat Mega Man X3. Mega Man X3 is a bitch. Super Aleste? I'm not sure what this is, actually. Is this related to, like, the Musha for the Mega Drive? Aleste, that sounds familiar. Fuck, I should know this. I don't know, but there you go. Super Aleste. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. I don't really consider it Super Mario World 2, it's just Yoshi's first, like, solo game. And it's really fucking good. Yeah, this is beloved by a lot of people, and the graphics are definitely excellent for the Super Nintendo. Yeah, it's this case with most of these Super Nintendo games. I can't really say much bad about it because they're so good. They're so good. Here we have Aladdin. Now, I prefer this to the Mega Drive one. This one was made by Capcom, and it's more of a platformer than a sort of like hack and slash. Well, it's sort of a platformer on the Mega Drive as well. It doesn't look as nice, definitely, but it's still really, really fun. I think it a lot. Here is oh fuck! I probably should have showed this first. ActRaiser. This is the only game that I have in the box. ActRaiser is a really great game. It's basically a sort of you play as God, and it has 2D side-scrolling levels mixed in with like sort of town management stuff. And yeah, it's really addicting and really, really good. I also have, again, is this a repro cart? I don't fucking know. Ubisoft published this. Don't think I ever looked at that. I just kind of bought this off eBay. This is ActRaiser 2. Yeah, don't think I've ever popped this in, but I think it is pretty much the same game. But yeah, ActRaiser 1, definitely a classic for the Super Nintendo, for sure. Speaking of classics, like Super Metroid. Second favorite Super Nintendo? I don't know. I don't know. It's high. It's really high. I like it. You know, I played it once, like years ago, for the first time. Like in when it first, maybe it was when it first came out for the Super Nintendo Virtual Console, and I had this weird thing where I never played it again, but I always regarded it as one of my top favorite games of all time. You know, I enjoyed it that much, but I never had this like weird feeling to go back and play it again. I think it's because it's such a prominent game, like on the internet and through gamers. Like, you know, you see the game a lot. You know, you see it sped run a lot. You see it let's played a lot. So I guess you see it talked about a lot. So I guess in a way I didn't really feel like I had to play it again. But I remember I had like a little sort of mini Metroid marathon before Samus Returns came out. Like I played for Metroid Prime 1, I played for like Zero Mission for the first time, and I played Super Metroid again. So I've played it twice in my entire life, and the second time it was just as good as I remember. Fucking excellent game. How many times have I said that? Can we have a counter for the amount of times I've said fucking excellent? Right, we've got 5 games left. Cybernator. I don't know what this is. Cybernator. I'm drawing a blank on this one, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Super Castlevania 4. The only numbered Castlevania game that isn't shit. I don't really mean that, but it's the only one that I enjoy anyway. Sorry. The jump is actually... He actually has a jump. Okay, I like it that way. God damn it. Killer Instinct. Can't say I got an opinion on this one. I just have it. I hate the fact that this cartridge is black. It sticks out like fuck on my shelf. But yeah, it's here. It's here. Okay. Tiny Toons. What's the full name of this? Tiny Toons Bust Loose. Another game of my childhood. I've Talked about the Tiny Toon games. This is the third Tiny Toon game I've talked about. They're all great. The one for the Mega Drive, the one for the NES, and this one. This was the only one I actually played in my childhood too, but it's still brilliant. I love it. And the last game I got here is... came with another Anticlimax. This is a Equinox, which is a game, again from my childhood, but definitely one that I never understood. This is actually a perfect example of a game that I should go back to and see if I can, like, get any further than I did when I was younger, you know? That's real appealing, actually. I really should do that, eventually. But yeah, Equinox. Okay, guys, that was Super Nintendo. Fucking brilliant console, isn't it? Yeah, I'll go put these back on the shelf. Yeah. See you after. Thanks for watching. Missed one. It was right here at my arse. Fucking Kirby's Fun Pack. I think this is... Isn't this like the one with Superstar Saga? You know, the Kirby game that everybody loves for the Super Nintendo. I think it's like... It was changed slightly because this is a PAL copy, an official PAL copy. But yeah, Kirby's Fun Pack. There you go. Anyway, no see yous after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.